I really, really feel like I want to tag team into this conversation. So, Chinese are fighting back about, they're fighting back about our tariffs against them and the things that MAGA's saying and what have you, right? And Trump hasn't created any manufacturing in America. They haven't. So before we did tariffs, we should have already did an infrastructure with goods, creating goods in America, and we didn't do that, right? Um, I know MAGA says they want to go through with all these different manufacturers in America, but well, for one, we just don't have it. We don't have it to make it, and the Chinese are pointing the glaring, obvious aspect of that out. Okay, I just want to show you something before I play this. So this is a Chinese manufacturer that produces for Hermes, and Hermes is a brand that uses Togo leather and hardware from Germany and France and Italy and places like that. But then the bags are literally manufactured in China and different Asian countries and then shipped back to France to put the logo on it. So I just want to point something out. So this handbag I've had this handbag and you can see the wear on it, right? This is what you would call a vintage bag, and I've had this bag since 1989. Okay? So I want to show you, even though it has a lot of staining and wear, this full grain leather, if you can see it. Do you see that? This is what Dooney and Burke used to make. Oops, hold on. Let me take this towel out. I put this towel in here to prevent the bag from creating creases and stuff. This is the hardware. Now, the leather on this hardware literally has eroded because we're talking about a bag that's over, let's see how many years it is. It's looking to be close to 40 years old, right? So, am I correct on that? Let me think. 89, 99, 109, 119, it's 30. So in 2029, this is going to be a 40-year-old bag. Okay? I got this bag when I was in my early 20s. This bag cost me $400 something. It has an American-made tag on it. And like I said, it's a Dooney and Burke. But this is what it looks like inside. Yes, it's rough. You're talking about a bag that I used every day for decades, okay? This is the pebble grain leather outside. Does it need more conditioning? For sure it does. But if you can see how the hardware held up, and all I need is brass cleaner for this. And then here's the brass feet on the bottom. To me, for a 40-year-old bag, it's not that bad. This is the leather strapping, right? Okay, that's Dooney and Burke. This is a newer model Dooney and Burke, new strapping, and even though it's leather, the leather is not the same. You see it? This is the type of leather that they used to do reins for horses with and halters, right? So that is the brand of Dooney and Burke then. So this is a bag I bought about 5 or 6 years ago. Now this is called Florentine leather, and it's a special. Literally, this bag is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a signature bag. It's not one they had a lot of. So of course it's in the supposed to be all-weather leather style. Here you have the buckle. It's like this buckle right here. But the weightiness there, and you used to be able to get your signature on it. I have my name on this one, but you can definitely tell the difference between the buckles, right? From the old bag and the new bag. Even though I can brass clean this and clean it up, and it'll look brand new, right? So you can see, right? There you go. That's one. Here's another Florentine leather bag that I bought, I want to say, in 2000, I'm sorry, not 2000. Yeah, 2019 maybe. 2017, 18. There's the suede. But the feel of the leather is a lot different than the pebble grain leather here, okay? Good quality bag, but the reason I stopped buying Dooney and Burke is that the quality of the material is not the same as the leather was made when it was made in America. And that's just what that is. But I'm going to play this because I'm going somewhere with this, right? So Hermes charges thousands and thousands of dollars, whereas Dooney and Burke, even though the quality back in the day was an expensive bag at $400 or $500 in 1989, you really got what you paid for. Like it was a lot of money back then, but if you can see, I've got a 40-year-old bag, vintage bag, that I could condition and still wear. Okay, let's play this.
Now, this is not as expensive as 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will
see some of the, because it talks about the
just slander Dollar Tree China. This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. Second is Weinheim from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? And next, thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat seal edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. Package. Now, this is not as expensive as 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo. So we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory may cost you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
Well, fight back, bro.
So, what I want to say is, one of my favorite bags was a Dooney and Burke. I love Dooney and Burke because of this particular bag that I bought way back in the day. But the more, and I've got like about 30 Dooney and Burks, right? Since this bag. I actually should go in the closet and show you. But the quality of those bags is not what it used to be when it was American made. Because Dooney and Burke was a whole American made bag. Coach was another brand that was 100% American made. Okay? So him showing that Hermes, right now we live in a very trade pushed society, okay, which is nothing wrong with that. But in the beginning of this video, and I'll go back and I'll play it, the guy was making fun of MAGA about their Chinese made Make America Great Again hats, which is fucking ironic and funny at the same time, because all the hats are made in China. But the Chinese manufacturing system and structure is very ancient, because there used to be something called the Silk Road. I want to put this towel back in here to keep my bag in the same shape that it's supposed to be in. But they used to run the Silk Road, and if you don't know about the Silk Road went from China all the way down into Italy and Europe, and we're talking 3,000 years ago, and went into Egypt, and the trade, the spices and the trades that were going on the Silk Road is equivalent to what we do today, except for we transport via ships and things like that. But the idealism of it all was the same, the Silk Road. Which is nothing wrong with the trade system. I have no problem with it. But when we have a president that says they want everything made in America, and you don't put an infrastructure in before you start tariffing and killing, the whole economic structure and system of America, dude, you're Fruit Loops. You're legit Fruit Loops, and you don't know what you're doing. Would I like to see Dooney and Burke make quality bags like this again? Because I stopped buying them. I stopped buying, and I started buying Coach. So I'll buy a Coach bag before I'll buy a Dooney now. And I'll show you why. Okay. Without showing too much about my closet. So these are Portland leather, and I love Portland leather because they're the same like a Dooney and Burke, full grain leather. I love the quality. They have the same type of quality, but I can show you the Dooney and Burkes that I have. Like, here's a Dooney and Burke tote, another Florentine Dooney and Burke tote. That's a Portland leather up there, but that particular black bag is a Dooney. This one's a Dooney satchel. This is a Dooney Pebble Grain bucket bag. Another Florentine Dooney and Burke in natural. This is a Dooney and Burke Pebble Grain. This is a Dooney and Burke Pebble Grain. But the difference of this orange Pebble Grain, it was not made in the United States. And the quality does not even have the United USA symbol in it. It doesn't have it. Okay? Let me continue. So the quality of this bag, even though I love the color, it's not as much. Now here's another Portland leather, and you can feel the beautiful suppleness of the Portland leather. I love Portland leather. Here's some Coaches, but they're denim. Another Coach, not quite what I like. Here's a Dooney tote as well. Here's another Dooney tote. Dooney. This one's a Coach. Pebble grain leather on this is beautiful. It's like what Dooney used to do. Here's a patent leather Dooney. This is what made me stop buying Dooney. Although I love this one, because this is an all-weather leather Dooney. Okay. This bag here is what made me, the leather doesn't feel the same as the other leathers. Okay, so that's what made me stop that. So the quality started going down and down. So right now, Dooney quality is pretty much garbage. Even though I love these bags. Here's another Dooney. This is a Coach. This is glove tan leather. Here's another Dooney. This I bought in Italy. Here's another Portland leather, but you can see the full grain leather. It's gorgeous. Another Portland leather. Okay. Have a Coach up here. Prada. These are patent leather from Dooney. Patent leather from Dooney. Coach, Coach, Coach. Okay. So those couple of bags that I showed you are the reason why I stopped buying Dooney and Bourke. If the quality in Dooney and Bourke was the same as it was for these particular bags, even this one over here, I'd still be wanting Dooney. But Dooney's quality, even though it claims it's American made, American crafted, it's not. Let's see what this says. Let's see. And I also have a Coach downstairs that I'm carrying right now. Let's see if I can. So here's the Dooney tag, right? The new Dooney tag. And it's supposed to have the little American symbol tag in here, right? That you can say, hey, that's an identifying marker, that's a Dooney, right? Let's see if I can show you the one in here. Where is it? Here it is. So this is the Dooney that the original Dooneys came from, right? They have serial numbers on them, and they no longer come like this. The Dooney doesn't make things like this anymore. So, for those people that want to bring manufacturing back and craftsmanship back to America, we got a long, long ways to go. And I'm not even playing when I say a long, long ways to go, just by using the example of handbags. So, tariffing of these other nations is not the way to get manufacturing or bringing manufacturing back into the United States. It's not the way to be more self-sufficient. The idea might be a good idea, but he's not the first one to come up with that. But in order to do that, you have to get the craftsmanship, and you also have to bring the manufacturing back before you tariff. That's like the horse before the cart thing. So he wants the cart with no horse to move the cart. Dumb.